There is a spiritual war happening between men and women. And you see it play out every single day. You see it in dating, you see it in relationships, you see it in the way men and women connect. But also the way they pull apart. And it's not a war between love and hate. It's a war between trust and fear, between masculine leadership and feminine self-protection, between men who want something real and women who are scared to receive it. And until you understand this war, you'll keep taking things personal. You'll keep blaming yourself or blaming women. But this is bigger than you. It is a spiritual battle that you will need to learn and understand how to face that battle, or you will fail. Let's dive in. So guys, to give you a better understanding about the spiritual war that is happening, see, the soul of a secure man wants to protect, wants to love, wants to lead, and wants to build something real. If he's a real man, a secure real man, and with a secure man, I mean a man who can give love and receive love, he's a man who wants those things. He wants to protect, he wants to love, he wants to lead, he wants to build something real, okay? But the ego of a woman wants control. Okay, and oftentimes she doesn't even know that she has an ego. But if she has an ego and she has a big ego, that ego, it's not her as a person, but that woman, her ego, wants control, wants power, wants validation, wants to protect itself from pain. And that moment, that's where the spiritual war begins. Because your soul and energy speaks truth. But her ego feels threatened by truth. It's not her fault as an individual, because it's her ego. And the thing is, you want to connect with that woman, your soul wants to connect, but her ego wants to protect. And so you show up in love, and she shows up in fear, or at a certain moment, she will not show up anymore because she fears you. Her ego fears you, okay? And instead of opening up, she closes her heart. So, how does it show up in modern dating? You've probably felt it before, guys. If you are a guy who's secure and who is on his journey of becoming the best version of himself, when you meet a woman, you feel that connection and that attraction. You feel the vibes and the good energy that there is between you. But the moment things get real, and you feel that you are coming together more closely to each other, at that moment, she pulls away. She ghosts. She tests you. She goes hot and cold. Not because she doesn't feel anything, but because probably she feels too much. And her ego is terrified by that. Again, it's not her as a person, it's her ego. And if she isn't aware of her ego that lives in survival, she will play those games, she will test. Because for the first time, she meets a man who doesn't play games, who doesn't chase validation, who doesn't fall into her traps. And now, her ego is no longer in control. And what does the ego wants to do? The ego wants control. Because control feels safe. It's protection. So what does she do? She runs or she sabotages. So what is the feminine fear of true masculine power? And most men don't understand this. They think if a woman pulls away, it means that they weren't good enough for her as a man. But sometimes, if you are a guy who put the works in, who goes to the gym, who works on himself, who is searching for spiritual alignment, who is on his purpose, who tries to be the best version of himself, oftentimes it's the opposite. Oftentimes she pulls away because you're exactly what her soul has been searching for. And that terrifies her. Because when a woman meets a man who is calm, who is grounded, who is safe, with secure masculine energy, because it's all energy, guys, okay? She has feminine energy, you have masculine energy. But when you are putting your masculine energy out on those dates, she can feel that. She can feel that you have secure masculine energy, okay? And when she is not in her secure feminine energy, she feels unsafe. And the ego at that moment reacts and says, I can manipulate that energy. She can't control it. She can't predict it. And that scares the part of her that has been living in survival mode. You see, guys, deep down, her soul desires a man she can trust and be with a man who is in his true masculine energy. That's deep down what a woman wants, if she's secure. But her ego only feels safe with a man she can control. Okay? The ego takes it over. So what does she do? Not her, but her ego. She chooses control over connection. She chooses safety over surrender. Over surrendering her safe feminine energy to the safe masculine energy. It's all energy, guys. So she goes back to the guy that she knows she can manage. The guy who chases her constantly. The guy who begs for her love. The guy who is always pleasing her. And so the guy who validates her ego, but never reaches her soul. Because with that man, the man that I'm telling you that always validates, begs for attention, always pleasing, mostly the simp, or like I say, a pleaser, a people guy pleaser. When she's with that man, she's in charge. She doesn't feel vulnerable, and she doesn't have to face her own fears. But with you, she feels something real, something raw, something deep, something intense. And these things, when she's feeling that, and these things, when she feels that can trigger her wounds, her past wounds, because maybe she had that guy who made her feel that way, but then left, or cheated on her, or did her wrong. And so maybe when she sees you, she feels the same energy. Not that you are like that guy, but it could be if she becomes attached to that guy that you are. If she becomes attached at the guy that is bringing the same masculine energy. Because you gotta understand, being seen, being truly seen, is scary for her. Especially for a woman who has spent her whole life hiding behind her ego. That's why fearful, avoidant women often push away the man who feels the safest. To give you an example, I have a female friend that I already know for quite long. And we never had a relationship, but yeah, we had everything that you think when you have that, you will have a relationship. Like we had sex, we had great dates, everything that you say, there was attraction. So all the ingredients for having a relationship were there. And so, to give you an example, I know that she still has very much attraction for me. Why? Because a couple of days ago, she sent me a text. Sometimes when I think of you, I get horny. And that's the type of message that she already sent me a couple of times now in the last 3-4 months. She's thinking about me and she's thinking about sex with me. Okay? And when I had that message, 2 days later, she said, sometimes it feels like a pity that we aren't together as a couple. Now you gotta understand that she has chosen another guy. So for the moment, she's together with another guy. Okay? So she's texting me those things. Why? Because she sees me as that guy, as that sexual guy, but also a guy who she can have a relationship with and build something with. Otherwise, she wouldn't text that. But when I talk about the other guy, that's the guy she probably can control because she feels more safe with him. She has more control over him. Her ego, which is not a bad ego because she's really a good person. She's not a bad person. She has good intentions, but probably she doesn't even know her ego is holding her down. That voice in her head is holding her down to get with me. To be honest, if she listens to this video and she sees this video, I'm here because I truly like her as a person. She's beautiful, she's sweet, she's smart, she's intelligent. I really like her. And so, yeah, for me, it's also when she texted me that message like, hey, sometimes it's a pity that we're not together as a couple. I have the same idea because I think she's really great. But yeah, sometimes when you still have those old wounds, it's scary to attach yourself to a guy that you really like and really love, because that guy could also hurt you. So I understand her and I'm not mad at her. I just have a lot of understanding for her situation, because I know that she's a beautiful person. Okay, so that's just an example that I'm giving you guys. So oftentimes it's not because they don't want that guy deep down, but it's because they don't trust themselves to hold something real. It's not about you, my man. It's about her internal battles, her internal fears, her coping mechanisms, all driven by her ego. Because as a man, you can be the strongest, calmest, most loving man on earth, who treats those women in a kind, genuine, and respectful way on these dates. And that without being a pleaser guy or a simp. Okay? But acting pure from kindness and doing it from a point of strength, not weakness. On those dates, you're doing those things from a point of strength, not weakness. Being respectful, genuine, and still she will run and pull away. Because the war is not with you. It's within herself. It's the internal battle with her ego. And maybe some women I dated are watching this video right now, because I know how women are. Okay, they are curious. They like to see what I'm doing. They like to watch the man that they once dated and felt something for. And I see it all the time, guys. Women I dated still watching my stories, still sending likes and hearts on Instagram on my stories, still peeking into my life, but never really reaching out to meet up again. And I want them to know something, because they can say that on these dates when we met, that I didn't treat them well. They can't say that. If they say that, they would lie to themselves. The only thing I had that I was just in my masculine energy. And they can't say that I disrespected them. They can't say that. Because every woman I dated knows that I show up with kindness, with calm strength, grounded. And they know deep down that I've always treated them with kindness and respect on those dates. I wasn't toxic. I wasn't manipulative. I wasn't playing games. So if they still pushed away, it wasn't because I failed them. It was because something inside of them felt afraid of what was real. And that's okay. I hold no resentment because I've only love inside myself. So I wish them love. But they have to be honest and maybe look in the mirror and ask themselves, if a man treats me with love and respect, and deep down I feel that attraction for that guy, why do I still run? Why do I play games? Why do I pull away? Why do I ghost? Maybe the problem was never the man. Maybe the war is within your own heart. It is within the heart of the feminine, with a little bit wounded. So, to go further, what's your role as a man in this war? So what do you do now, guys, now that you have this information? It's simple, guys. You don't fight her ego. You don't argue with her trauma. You don't try to convince her soul, but you stand firm. You stand calm. You stay grounded. You stay in your truth. And you lead your life with your energy, not your words. And if she runs or pulls away, let her. Let her go with understanding, with love. And don't chase. Your worth, your value as a man doesn't depend on her healing. And at the same time, your power doesn't depend on her surrender. You are the masculine, guys. You are the protector. You are the rock who doesn't become emotional when she plays games. You don't fight against her in this war, but for her soul. Even when her ego doesn't see it yet. So my guys, unfortunately, that's the reality we're living in now. This war between ego and soul. You see it every day, at least I do, because I'm on my purpose. I'm on my mission. I have clarity. I see things for what they are. When you come in connection with God, you see things for what they are. And that's in dating, in relationships, in the way people show up or run away. But the question is simple. Are you going to lose yourself? Are you going to chase someone who is not ready to receive you? Or are you going to stand firm in who you are and let life bring the right people to you? So just stay grounded, guys. Stay true to yourself and know that the ones who are meant for you, women, people in general, if somebody treated you bad, male or female, maybe one day they will see and they will realize that they made a mistake. And maybe one day they will find their way back when they are ready. So keep leading and living from truth, guys. Okay? And if you're a man who feels this war in his own life and you can relate, if you've been battling alone all the time and you're ready to rise, I invite you guys to work with me one-on-one, to step deeper into your masculine power, to break free from the patterns holding you back. Or also, join the Al-Musaid Brotherhood, a community of men who are on the same path, rising together, leading from love, grounded in truth. I've made some great courses in the community for having better relationship with women, but also a better relationship with yourself. That's the most important thing, to then have better relationship with people. Okay? You can find the links below in the description for one-on-one coaching or the link for joining the community. And when you're ready, I see you on the inside. And also, guys, leave a comment in the comment section if you can relate to something I'm saying. Leave a comment in the comment section, guys. I will read them and comment them. With that said, guys, I hope you liked this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in my next video. Ciao.